All right, day 20, I think, and I've got a rhythmic exercise for you today. We're going to be working on our swing feel using a metronome. So let me play the exercise to start with. So you can hear that we've got kind of a rock and roll or bluesy kind of shuffle thing going on there. It's kind of a rock and roll riff or bass line. So let me take you through the notes to begin with. So it's kind of a 12-bar blues in the key of G, starting with our G root note here, 3rd fret on the low E string, and then playing that twice, sliding up to the 7th fret, and then over onto the next string, 5 and 7. That's our riff, playing this with a swung or a shuffly kind of a feel. Now, if you're not sure what that means, I mean, the best thing to do is just to feel it. But if you want to count it, it's based on an underlying triplet subdivision of the beat. So if each beat is 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... If you've got a swing, then you're just playing the 1st and 3rd note of each of those triplets. So 1 and a 2 and a da. Da, da. So it's just like missing out the middle note of a triplet, and that gives you the swing feel, the shuffle feel. I think those two words, swing and shuffle, basically mean the same thing. I mean, there are some subtle differences, I think, but for most purposes, swing and shuffle can be used quite interchangeably. I think shuffle is often used in more of a blues or a rock and roll context. So let's establish that shuffle rhythm. I've got down and up strokes of the pick. So we're playing each note twice with a down and up. Playing the G riff 4 times. Then we're taking it through the 12-bar structure. So just moving the riff over to the next pair of strings. This is the C riff, the 4 chord. Back to the 1. And then the 5 chord, we're going to be beginning from the 5th fret on the 5th string. Playing that twice, then back home to the 1. So that's the basic idea. It's all about establishing a nice swing or shuffle feel. And when you start really getting into this, you find that there are some variations on how you do this, and you listen to different players and they're going to have a slightly different swing feel. It's quite a mysterious thing, but I think mostly it's about where they place that second note of each pair, and you can bring it slightly forward or push it slightly back, and it gives your swing a slightly different emphasis. So that might be something for you more advanced players to mess around with. Now, the second part of this exercise is playing with the metronome, and one of my favourite things to do when playing in a swing feel, whether it's a bluesy thing or a jazzy thing, is to have the metronome playing on 2 and 4. So it's as if the metronome is the drummer's snare drum in kind of a blues context, and it's quite challenging to do, and it sort of seems to add to that whole swing feel. It sort of makes it feel like the metronome is grooving a little bit more than just having it on 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it's a good thing to try. So I've got my metronome set here at 65 BPM, and the first challenge is to hear that click as 2 and 4. It might take a little bit of getting into that, but you might say to yourself 2, 4, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just start hearing that click as 2 and 4, and then when you're ready you can start playing through the riff. So a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. see if you can get that happening, get that riff grooving along with the metronome. And it can be quite an unforgiving thing. It's actually quite obvious if you're not in time, or even if you're just rushing or dragging slightly. And that is something that I will find myself doing. And I do find with an exercise like this that when I first sit down and do it, it might be a bit wobbly, but the longer I do it, if I were to do it for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then my groove will get a lot more solid. So in that respect, I think this is a great exercise. So good luck with it, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 21.